My name is Cornelius Solaris III, but you can call me Kori. And yes, of course, I'm a unicorn, as you can tell from the horn on my forehead. Taking the words of our honored host today, don't hesitate and accelerate. And without further ado, let me introduce to you Tal Catran, our keynote speaker for the day. Tal is a very busy keynote speaker and TEDx speaker. Tal is a prominent figure on the global innovation ecosystem. He has founded 14 startup accelerators since 2012 in both Israel and abroad. He has rendered him a guru on building accelerators, hubs, and startup ecosystem. He serves as an advisory board member in various companies and technology startups, mainly focusing in cybersecurity, information technologies, retail, drones, homeland security, and others. He is very active with hundreds of startups, accelerators, incubators, innovation hubs, tech parks, and other major players entrepreneur ecosystems. His influence stretches all the way from Israel and Eastern Europe and Asia. Something else, that last visit to Mexico, where we met in 2008, he was also a keynote speaker in the 2019 Forbes Industrial Summit. And without any further ado, Tal, thank you very much for being with us today. I leave the floor to you.
Okay, thank you, Kori. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Are you all hearing me well? Do you hear me good?
Yeah, everything's cool.
Okay, everything is cool. So we'll do it like this. As Pedro mentioned, you can ask questions on chat, and towards the end, I will leave time for some questions. And let's dive into to where we are right now. So Pedro, if you just can leave out the presentation, and so I can see everyone on screen.
There we go.
Okay, super, super. The ones who can turn on their cameras, please indulge us and join us so we can see you as well. It's part of Zooms in general. If not, it's fine. So let's start. So as you know, we're now experiencing something that was never here before. And in a way, COVID-19 or Corona really caught us by surprise. And the surprise is that Corona or COVID or the current crisis is different because it's lacking, it doesn't have a real structure. We are not clear on the rules yet. We are trying to understand how big it is, who infects whom. We do a lot of trial and error. One of the strong things, or one of the prominent things that we see, is that countries learn, or in a way even copy from one another. And right now is the kind of, everyone wants to try anything or everything to get through. So, and also we see the effect of what we call the global village. So to begin with, my first recommendation to you guys would be listen to your government, listen to your health ministry, to your municipality, to authorities in general. You need to follow the rules. That's before everything else. Although, honestly, probably the situation is not as bad as it seems. You know, sometimes when you travel overseas and you see news about your country, it looks like, oh my God, it's so, I mean, something is wrong. We need to rush back. Where in reality, it's not like that. So could be that situation is not as bad as we think. But we do see, I think, one distinct subject throughout, which is the status of the health system in all the countries around the world. Most don't do so well, and that includes everyone, really. And well, maybe we needed this event, this crisis, to understand how much resources, and how much money, and how much technology is lacking and needs to be invested, and for sure for the coming years. Now we see everything like in years, not in weeks, not in months. this will have to change. Well, on a day-to-day, think about it. I think we're all, as we say, we stopped. We stopped. We're now much slower, and in a way, we're calculating where to go now. Where do we go next? We feel isolated. We're closed. We're quarantined in our houses. Actually, Israel is in this state since March, the beginning of March. And but currently, we have decided to loosen up a bit and to see if we can go back to normal. So most businesses are already at least have the permission to open. Still, many don't open because, again, unclarity. Schools, we are debating, maybe Sunday schools will open, but only for the young kids. Maybe as you heard, it was told, I think in Switzerland, that kids don't infect adults. Well, today, a day after, already published, I think in US, that this is not the case, that kids do infect. So there's a lot of misconceptions. Many things are not clear. We have social distancing, which is very hard for everyone, hard for us as families not to meet, not to see our parents, and not to see our grandfathers and grandmothers only by Zoom. Well, all of a sudden, my grandmother is an expert on Zoom, and this is quite amazing. No flights, we can't move around. I mean, we're stuck in a way. But on the other note, we work from home. Well, and to begin with, it sounds very good, but now we know that we work very hard. But we can work now from everywhere, and we can learn from everywhere. Okay. Well, we dress less. I think most of us now have some sportswear or something. We don't put too much makeup now. I think we eat too much. Maybe some of you have started sport. If not, this is a great time to start because Corona will pass. It will pass. And even if not 100%, we will definitely need to learn how to live with it. So still there's a lot of uncertainty also economically. Unemployment is reaching the sky, and there is a lot of fears. Who will support us? Who will help us? Some details from today about Corona worldwide. So as you probably know, there are more than 3 million people currently infected, 3,200,000. Dead, we have over 220,000. But we have about close to 1 million that are now recovering. Out of the about 245 countries worldwide, 210 are infected. And when I looked earlier about numbers, so yesterday actually, Mexico is 23rd with 17,800 people infected and 1,700 dead, sadly. Yesterday, Israel was 24. Israel today is 25 with 15,000 infected, but only 219 dead. So yeah, it has to do with, I think, discipline. It has to do also with technology that the health system operates in Israel. Just to give you numbers, I think Mexico is 120 million, Israel is only 9. So let's speak about employment right now, which is a big deal for everyone. So as told, we all work from home. We are not measuring anymore how much we work. I mean, how many hours, more on delivery, more on results. Meaning our bosses don't really care how many hours we work, but what do we deliver? We are now measuring response time. It's not about how long the light is on. It's about, are we able to deliver what we need to? We don't do frontal anymore. We do more digital. I mean, still frontal, but digital. Certainly one thing is sure, we work harder. We work harder. We work many more hours. All of a sudden, we realize that we don't need to drive to work, find a parking space, take an elevator, prepare the coffee, and then do it on the way home. No more. We are available. We're stuck at home. We have Zoom. We have Teams. We have WhatsApp. We have Skype. And this is what we do. Although we are 2 meters away from kitchen, and we do find the time to eat, still sometimes we don't even reach it. We know right now that, as we say, unemployment is reaching high numbers, and we do realize that about 20% of the unemployed will not find job, will not return to their companies. Right now, of course, no one recruits any new workers. Probably the ones that will return will have to give up some of their salary. I would estimate about 50% reduction in salaries. Again, not a nice scene, but this is how it's going to be, because now we are in the employer's market, meaning they can decide who they want to take back and how much they're going to pay them. Well, it will reverse in time, but currently this is it. This is the time where employees need to show they're faithful. Otherwise, they will be fired. They need to keep touch. They need to stay in touch with their employers. They need to stay in touch with one another to show they care. They need to share. They need to share their day-to-day, and they need to have a routine. You need to keep a routine. You need to get out of bed. You need to exercise. You need to do your job. You need to, start re-engage with your head. It needs to work. Communication between people. So I don't know how is it with you, but I stopped talking on the phone. I only Zoom. My kids from second floor, they don't call me anymore. They Zoom. Everything is Zoom. It's like we feel like we're on an island and we want to see the other inhabitants there. So people want to see that you're there. And when you say the word meeting means to people, this is a meeting. So we need to see one another, and we go on video. All of a sudden, you're in my home right now. So I'm Zooming with you, but you can see my living room. You see my family, and you will hear probably my dog when someone knocks on the door. So all of a sudden, we are bringing everyone into our own home. Privacy now is much less. Zoom or digital became something that even our parents can operate right now, at least if they want to see us. So there's a huge technological change, and also in work environment, okay? And what we see now is that really out of population, only 30% of people really think about the day after. So most of the people live like the now, the today, and don't think enough how will be the day after, or what is called now the new normal. And yes, things are going to change. In our families, where the family cell, our home changed, now we're more time with the family because we're quarantined. And by the way, it's nice. It's nice being with family, I think. It's harder that we can reach parents and grandfather and grandmothers, so that's an issue. But this is just to keep them healthy. So we need to deal with this, and we need to help them. We find ourselves longer time on screens, something that mothers don't like to see their kids with screens too much. Now they have no choice. A lot of time with Netflix, I don't know, Minecraft, Fortnite, whatever. Everyone is trying everything. Digital is really taking over our lives. Let's speak about business. I hope some of you are at least familiar with the term Black Swan. Well, this is a situation like in economy. It's called Black Swan. That we have an event like Corona, for instance, that has a large impact that we cannot have foreseen beforehand. So this is called the Black Swan, and this is what we are feeling right now with the Corona. Estimates say that maybe third quarter of this year we'll start seeing ourselves getting out of Corona. Some speak about only third quarter of next year, maybe summer of next year, we will see more normality in our lives. And this is, I don't know, this will have an effect that, again, we will have to deal with. And we need to adjust. We need to adjust. You cannot stay rugged and tough and say, well, this is how it is. No, no, you need to be agile. You need to see that you're thinking in a different way. You are pivoting. You're thinking what I can do different, what kind of work I can do different. Don't stay stuck. By the way, some numbers again. So as you know, no more flights, or not too many flights, 65% less flights. So it's not no one is flying, but much less. Consumption of fuel in the US down 50%. Production of crude oil, 20 million barrels less. And as you saw, the price of oil went under zero, now coming a bit up. So this is things that we have not encountered before. And air pollution in Europe is down 60%. I think this is something very good. And as we see, wildlife are coming into our life back again. Speaking a little bit about startups, I don't know how many of you have startups or think about startups or will have, but startups, well, for startups, this is real life. So in a way, I can tell you, welcome to startup real life, because there's a lot of uncertainty, things are not clear, and this is the day-to-day of a startup. So startups don't really change much this time, but again, they will have to adjust. Raising funds will be very difficult, or is already very difficult. Less angel investors are willing to invest right now. LPs that run that invest in the VCs or bring money to the VCs wanna decrease their risk. They will like to invest much less. We will see less investment happening with more equity taken. So the day-to-day about this is gonna change. Do you have any questions up until now? Just describing a bit how the situation is right now. Now I will take it a step forward and speak about a little bit more about tomorrow, okay? And of course, I will leave you time for any questions, anything that you wanna know more, maybe. I see you're very young, so you're all probably students, 20 something, around this age, 25. I don't know what kind of jobs that you have, or are you fired, have you been fired or not. Just understand this. We are all on the same boat. What you're feeling and what you're experiencing, everyone in every country around the world, aside maybe from the 35 countries I said, which are all in Africa, God knows how that happened, which are not infected, or maybe don't know to check if they are infected, they live a different life maybe. But all of us, everywhere, okay, we live uncertainty. Most of us were fired. We think about tomorrow. We think about paying tuition, to pay rent, to buy food. And again, this problem is all over the world. No one suffers more than others, okay? So I don't know if this, really helps you, or cheers you up, but no, tomorrow will come, and it will not come within years. It's already happening. And I think part of the reason that Israel bounces back so quickly within, let's say, 3 months, all in all, at least to try and come back to normality, have no doubt, is the people. We have been very attentive to the instructions of the government and health ministry, very attentive. We did not leave home. Those who left home were, they got a fine and they were sent back home. We did not meet our older elder people. We don't come in touch. We use masks everywhere, okay? You cannot leave home without a mask, otherwise you get fined. The fine is about $70 to about $150. We are allowed to leave home for a distance of 100 meters to take some air, and 500 meters for sport. Today, this was canceled, and we can go out and do sport wherever we want, okay? To come to this situation, it had to have a collective understanding that we all need to take the same path. Meaning, if some of us will not listen, everyone will stay infected, okay? So this is very, very important. Young people that like to party, okay, different maybe than the older people, also listened. Okay, so I think this has a crucial effect on our success to really very quickly go out to business. Although, and I am saying this very careful, although businesses are only starting to open, there are not so many people still leaving home and running to the shops. You know, market, pharmacies were open, like with you. It will always open. We can always buy food. No food was lacking. Everything was on the shelves. Okay, so no shortage of anything, and no people in the streets hungry for food. Remember that Israel is a socialist country, meaning it helps its citizens. Okay, it doesn't leave them, and it's a small country. We need to say it. It's only 9 million. So for the day after, I see some of you write to me questions. I will passing the COVID. Okay, we will speak about to benefit the economy. Yes, I will speak about now the day after and what we how we can maybe profit from it. Okay, I will discuss in short some businesses that now really, you know, go down. First of all, we call it travel tech. Travel tech. Travel technology would be airplanes don't fly, travel agencies closed, hotels closed, restaurants closed, parks closed. So we know that currently travel tech losses so far are reaching $250 billion, $250 billion losses in travel tech. But we know we will come back to traveling, and it's gonna change, but probably it's gonna be more severe on the medical part. So if we thought until now that we need to open suitcases and take off our shoes, forget. Now it's gonna be worse. I don't know if maybe we need to be buck naked when they check us, but now we're gonna be checked all over. I mean, you can say bye-bye to low cost. There will be no low-cost companies being able to fly and be profitable because low cost go on masses, on large number of travelers. Then they can reduce the prices and a lot of flights and crowded airplanes. Now it's not possible anymore. We know that the sitting inside the aircraft is going to change. Now they say that if you have 3 seats, now they think about the middle one to turn it and to put glass on the sides, maybe like this, but this is only ideas. We don't know how it's gonna be. Probably they will not be serving food. Why? Because they need to disinfect everything, the trays and everything. So we will be afraid of the virus, so maybe food will not be served. We need to think about it, or they will think about it. And of course, there will not be a lot of budget to fly anyway in the coming months. So aviation, think more on terms of summer of next year, maybe starting to see the return of flights as we know it. By the way, just to give you a European airline called Ryanair, they do usually 2,500 flights a day. Now they fly only 20. Understand the damage. This company just said that they have about 18 months to live in this situation before they perish and go bankruptcy. We know people will not like to travel to cities. They will not like to come to dense places. They will like to go to the country. Okay, maybe take cars and go to the country. For sure, not in the dense city as well. If you all know Booking.com, probably Booking.com. Well, Booking.com announced that revenues 95% down. So I think we understand there's a big problem on how to see it. How do we go from here? Let's speak about things that can maybe go up. Well, EdTech, education technologies, learning, distant learning. So first of all, Corona showed us how much we're not ready for distant learning, okay? But now we're improving. Schools, teachers, you know, the one thing that we cannot teach teachers is to go unmute before they speak. You know, everything else they've learned already, but unmute is still a problem. But we see that they learn. We see a lot of platforms like Zoom now developing. Telemedicine, we understand that now we need to be able to check people from a distance, by digital, by distance or through the internet as well. So that is called telemedicine. We know that we need to deal with corona or to deal with such a virus. So we have COVID-19, coronavirus 2019, maybe we'll have 20 and 21, God knows. We don't know how many bats are still in China, but maybe we will have to deal with it for a long time. Robots, well, why should we go to a hotel and speak to a person when we can have a robot? We can have robots do everything. By the way, in Israel, 2 weeks back was announced that in hospitals, they're going to start giving service with robots, meaning you will enter an ER, wherever, and you will speak to a robot before you will speak to a person. Same will be in hotels. Same will be with everywhere that there was a person giving a service. Now will be a robot. Problem is unemployment. What will the person do? Which is a big and very worrying issue that we need to deal with. We see that we move from on-premise to cloud, to remote, from the physical to the digital, okay? Virtual reality. You see more and more people have said, enough, I don't want to see home anymore. Put the VR, and they're in their own reality right now, doing whatever they want. So this will probably increase. Now we order things from home, okay? Like I think you have a Agrega in Mexico. So this is now being used a lot, and when this is used a lot, probably other technologies will also develop at the same time. By the way, as you see right now, there is some shortage of things. We are learning to cope with less. We cannot now go out and buy whatever we want, so we order less. When we order, some of the things that we order are out of stock. We can't get them. Amazon can give it to us. So we now see that we can still live with less. And this is a very important rule, a very important lesson that the world learns now. It learns that now also when you want something delivered to you, it will probably be longer, okay? We eat more home food. We prepare more food because, again, takeaway is the problem, okay? So we all become chef. So maybe if you are inside the retail food tech industry, maybe you'll come up with an app that will teach everyone how to cook. It will be simpler. I'm sure that when we speak about the employment or the employment market, globalization economically will be retested because we saw how Corona moved from country to country. So now we're a global village. Maybe we need to put more borders. Probably we will have less freelancers because freelancers are not insured in any way to get anything from the government or from anyone. Whereas if you're an employer, your employee will pay you some of the money because he needs to pay you, right? But freelancers don't get anything. So maybe we'll have less freelancers. For sure, we would like to, I don't think we would like to work from home, but our employers, understanding that we work much harder from home, would like us to work from home. We for sure will be traveling less. If we travel less, we use less fuel, less air pollution, less buses, less train, less leasing of cars, less insurance of cars. So on the one thing it's good, on the other it's bad. We are still learning to balance. We don't know, we don't have the answers yet. No one has the answers yet. It's too soon, but we are learning. We understand that the space of offices will be smaller. No more maybe co-working spaces. WeWork is dropping, as you saw. It's almost, close to being worth, I don't know how much, but it started 47 billion. It's now less than 400. So everything is losing its momentum when it comes to space, to offices. Probably some technologies, again, will grow and will be stronger. As I mentioned, robots, for sure, drones, is because now drones can deliver food. Drones can do the takeaway for us, as is already being used in the US by an Israeli startup that invented such a capability. We will be speaking more to the manufacturers directly. So I can talk to the farmer and order my lettuce. I don't need someone in the middle, a middleman, like the supermarket. I can speak directly and get the food. We will see, as I said, more of the remote. And for sure, and I'm coming towards the end, is that we will see that businesses, governments, as well as individuals, need to be agile, need to cope with the crisis. You cannot stick your head into the ground and say it will pass. No, you need to be active. You need to know technology, you need to be innovative, and you need to harness what just happened. Turn it, as we say, take the lemons and do a lemonade. Contact between people. Probably we will touch one another much less. Although some say that maybe we will never touch again, we will not shake again. I don't think this is the case. I think people are a social animal. We need the contact, we need the touch. You see how hard it is for us not to see our parents. Although we see them and we speak to them, we need the touch, we need the warmth. So I don't think this will change. We will not become robots, okay? I don't care how long Corona will take. We will always like to keep this touch. Again, on the good part, we see nature healing. We see pollution coming down. We see animals coming in, okay? So I think it has also a good effect on family. Well, I think the contact or the relations within families are now much stronger. And you know what? People say that there will be many divorced people after. I don't think this is the case. People get angry when they're with one another. They will relax. It will go by. It will be okay. I will mention a few details about startups, because this is also something which is very interesting. So they just concluded the first worldwide survey done by a company called Startup Genome. And they spoke to about 1,000 startups, 6 continents, 50 countries, between March and April, just now. And they came up with interesting details. So on the bad part, and there is a lot of bad, sadly, is that probably half of the startup now trying to raise money will not see the end of it. They will not raise the money and probably will have to close. Although some still raise money. In Israel, raising money still goes on, as well as exits. But worldwide, there is a very large and growing shortage about that. 5%, by the way, of those 1,000 had to close shop already. Most startups don't get any help from their government. Most of them already started March maybe or February to lay off people. They need to decrease their manpower. 74% worldwide had to fire already the full-timers. 3 out of every 4 startups already sees the crisis, feels the crisis. But just an interesting detail, last detail, there is a ray of light. Even during the 2008 crisis, there were about 50 unicorns. There's companies that are worth $1 billion and up during that time. So still, we will probably see some good things happening. Last to say is my recommendation, and it's like, stay optimistic. Don't stick your heads into the ground. Be active, get involved, try new things. Leave the normal. Leave what you know right now, because you must adapt to the new normal and look for opportunities. Reach out to people who can help you. Reach out. I think one of the good things that Kori is here, it will be able to help you reach out to people. I think it's important to try new opportunities, to try new job. So I have done this much so far. Now, get with the program, okay? Try something new, because you need to earn money. This is how it is. Have yourself a strategy. Think about the day after. Deal more with marketing, less with selling. Selling is very difficult right now. Most companies don't want new products. Most people, they want to take what they have and save the money. But you need to stay exposed. You need to go marketing strategy much harder than sales. Cut on your expenses. Don't spend too much. Really check what you spend and adopt. I will stop here if it's okay. And if you have any questions, anyone, if you guys want to read them to me, I will gladly, or if the people who wrote the questions, if you can go unmute and just ask quickly the questions and I will answer. Anyone?
Some people are asking the questions in Spanish in the chat. I just want to tell for everyone that that's okay. I can translate. In fact, I'm gonna read a first question from Denis Covarrubias. He's asking you, Tal, if you think that people are gonna change your lifestyle after this, like for something more healthy, or do you think they will eventually forget about it and just return to the old normal?
It's a very good question, and I think we all doubt it is because it has a much longer effect. I mean, if we will be stuck with Corona for, I don't know, year, 2, 3, who knows, probably it will have an effect. I think that for the short term, yes, we do wash more, we do more alcohol gel. Women love the fact that men now wash their hands more, I'm sure, but would that last? I don't think. I think we go quickly to our bad habits. I don't think everyone is really eating good. Everyone, especially people who are in a difficulty, feel sorry for themselves. They eat more. They don't exercise. This needs to change. It's my recommendation. It can be done. You can go back to November and see my video and look at me right now. And if I can do it, you can do it. I'm 50 years old. And if I can lose 15 kilos within 3 months, you guys can do it, although you all look very thin anyway. So maybe you don't need. But yes, you ask clothing, well, see what you wear right now. How many of you really dressed up and put makeup for this meeting? Not many. But probably when you go back to life, and yes, we will continue dating and everything, yes, we will go back to normal, meaning probably men don't wash hands and girls looking beautiful again and maybe shaving more. I don't know. But really, whatever that you do, it's too short to know. Next question, please.
We have actually a couple of questions from the president of the Alumni Association, Andrea Sarsua. I don't know if you want to ask them or you want me to read them. Feel free to open your microphone to ask Tal.
Okay, I think you should read them.
Okay, I'm gonna read her first question. She's asking, do you think the way we work nowadays would change because of coronavirus? And then she has a follow-up question. How can people recuperate from the loss of their jobs? Do you think that there will be some kind of growth after COVID, or it will maintain lower?
First of all, for sure, it will have growth. Again, some professions, let's say, or some industries which are now low, will come back. We will go back to flying. There's no other way for me to get to Mexico. I will not start walking right now to get to Mexico. Okay, I'm not Marco. I will need a plane, right? So this will come back. How we will fly? That's a big question. I mean, how quickly will flight be profitable for the airlines to start flying? I don't know, but we're told that next month flights are going to start back to Israel slowly. Although the aviation market in Israel, well, government speaks about end of July, maybe August. We don't know. So I think what you need to do right now, the people who are about to get fired or were fired, first of all, don't badmouth your employee. Try and stay in touch with them. Try and come back with ideas. Say, listen, you know, you laid me off like a month ago, but I was thinking. And I think that if we do so and so and so, it can get us a lot of business. Come on, you don't need to be smart to understand that your employer, when he hears you coming back with innovation, with strategy, with wanting to do more or do again, they will listen to you, no doubt. The easiest option is to say, I hate him. He's not a good guy. He fired me. Well, he fired you because he had no other way to go about it. Come on. He didn't hate you. He didn't take advantage of you. He fired you. So what? Other option is become independent. Take the idea that you have always in your mind. For sometimes you had an idea that you want to do something. Well, now is the time to do it. Now you have the time to invest in yourself. Now, see, we are now 65 people. Take off us, let's say, Moti is here from Israel, aside, Rovshan, my digital agency is here because he's from Azerbaijan, he's not from Mexico, take him aside. Of course, myself and the guys, and Pedro and Trewas, take them aside. You're left with 60 people. Now just think, when we finish this, these 60 people are not going to go home. They're going to stay on Zoom. Just understand that the amount of brain, networking, abilities within those 60, the windows that I see before me, is so big that it will be a shame if you guys will not stick and say, hey, how can we help one another? Go to Alexis, say, Alexis, first of all, thank you so much for this. You have done something tremendous for us. It's now that we can communicate more. Let's open ourselves a group. Could be a WhatsApp group, could be an email, could be a Facebook, who cares? As long as we are able to communicate and say, hey guys, can someone help me with so-and-so? Hey guys, I'm looking for a job, I can do so-and-so, can I help any of you? Between 60 people, there are so many opportunities that you can help one another, that you cannot even start imagine. You look at a person right now, you say, well, what do I see here? What can he do for me? What can she do for me? But you don't know what's behind them. You don't know their contacts, you don't know their families, you don't know who they know. Take advantage of this right now. This is how you get started in life. It's what you take what life's giving you, as we say, low-hanging fruit. This is for you now to take a bite. So yes, number one, things are gonna change, definitely gonna change. How much, how quick? We don't know, but go online, start reading. Start seeing YouTube. Just write the day after Corona. Just write. By the way, probably within a few, I would say, days, since we're going to promote this video and Kori is going to publish and post it, I'm going to post it very quickly. People that you know, including yourself, are going to see this video and see you guys. So all those who are doing this and this and this, stay nice because people will see you. So that you want them to see your face, right? So they will see this video and they will learn what we have spoken about right now. And maybe if you were more, active, they will even reach out to you and say, hey, I listened to you. You're very interesting. How about we partner on something? How about I help you on something? Computers and robots will not replace this. People will help people always, not the robots. Robots are the tool to help us. Okay? Next question, please.
We have another interesting question from Javier. I think everyone here is interested to know, could you name again some of the investment opportunities that you can see during Corona? He's specifically asking, what would be a good investment right now?
I think that good investment will be cyber. Number one is because, as you saw also on Zoom, hackers are everywhere. And since now we are working remote, it's a big problem. Remote meaning that we need to use VPNs and, it's the bandwidth that has limitation. So we cannot use it everywhere. And so this is, I think it's a very good opportunity. I think education, as we say, remote teaching or learning is very important. Telemedicine, as I mentioned, virtual reality is very interesting. If you could invest in Zoom, it's a good option, okay? So this kind of technology, fintech for sure, protecting our money with the banks is very important. So these are some of the examples.
We have a specific question about an investment. Osvaldo Perez is asking us, what do you think about Forex? Is it a good investment option today?
I think this is so-and-so. I don't know how good it is right now. I don't have enough details to answer it. So I would leave it as a question mark.
While people ask more questions, I have a personal question of my own. Since we're talking about how COVID and the economy is going to change, how do you think it's going to change from the perspective that right now, at least in the Western world, economics are based on constant growth? How is economics going to be reformulated now that we cannot have constant growth in a situation like this?
I don't think we cannot get constant growth on everything. As I just explained, some industrial clusters are going to grow, if we want it or not. I mean, if now people order more from home, someone needs to deliver. Someone needs to give them the ability to order. If we now learn from remote, and we don't have enough platforms, and if the ones that we have are not adjusted or well adjusted to support the need. So again, some elements, some clusters that we did not look on the health system. We did not look enough on health system, on distant, as we say. Sorry. So we did not look enough on those. They were low. Now coming up, where other industries that were very interesting at the time or very relevant before Corona are now changing. And again, the big question is, how long will Corona be here? Or more so, how long will Corona affect? Because we know people are dying from influenza anyway. Think, in Israel, yearly, 50,000 people died from Corona. Within 3 months, 200 people died. Is that a crisis? Many will say no. Why are we stuck at home? Let's go out. But between countries, the hysteria made it a crisis. Is it right or not? I don't know. I will not be the one to judge. I see the day-to-day, and the day-to-day in Israel says that within 3 months we are bouncing back, and the force to make it are the people. It's the economy, and this is the big scare. Are we less infected or less dead because we were quarantined and now returning to work will increase it? Or it had no clue, it had no relation? We don't know, the world doesn't know. So this is what we need to check right now. But one thing is for sure, economy always bounces. We have been through the bubble of 2002, 2003. We have gone through 2008, the subprime, and we lived through it. The world did not end. It was not extinct. It's long lasting. We will not perish. Come on, let's relax. Let's take it down a notch. Everything is going to be fine. We're all going to be fine. Why? It's because we listen, we act, we're going to be active, and maybe we can find ourselves with a better job. For sure, the guys, all of you who are students, study hard. You study hard, you study harder, because this is your time right now. And be sure that if you are good, people will take you, will run after you. If you're not, no one will look your way. Try and add to what you do right now some creative thinking, some entrepreneurship. Come up with solutions to problems that you know as students, that you feel on a day-to-day. Try and do something about it. I think that Kori here, Alexis, that gave us the opportunity, Kori and the guys are here, I'm here. We will definitely like or give you at least the opportunity to work with us. If you have something of interest, please don't be shy. Offer it to us. Well, let's see what we can do. Okay.
I don't know if there are any further questions right now from the audience. Someone is asking us a question. Do you think that investors will be interested to invest in innovation right now?
Yes, because Some investors see the current situation as an opportunity. Why? Is now they have more time to choose. Maybe they can get it for a better price. Understand that when you get money from investor, you are getting money, but he gets equity. He gets part of your company. Now maybe he thinks, as a businessman, let's say, maybe he can give a little less and take a little more. Although most investors don't think this way, because they think that if you are good, they want to stick with you. They want to invest with you, not because of the opportunity, because you're good. But you will need to work harder to persuade them. You will need to show more tractions, more result, more ability to deliver what you say. Forget about the opportunity of, yeah, I will pitch to you my presentation and you will invest. Yeah, I will ask, what do you have more, aside from the PowerPoint? You say, I don't know, I have just an idea. Do you really expect me to invest in you? You need to have something of substance. You need to develop your technology a little bit. At least is what we call a minimal viable product, an MVP. At least the minimum. It needs to do something of value. Then try and find yourself an early adopter, someone willing to try your technology. Guys, if you know, guys and girls, everyone, if you know how to come up with an idea relevant for Corona time, if you know how to get yourself a technical partner, technological partner who knows to develop, and you can develop something and then find someone who is willing to try it, maybe a customer, something small, then go and raise money. This makes sense. And I have no doubt that if you have the ability to speak, you will do well. So yes, opportunity is still on the table, yet it's more difficult. This is for sure. Okay. Yeah, I see everyone is ready to go for dinner or lunch or something. Lunch.
Oh, okay. Before everyone leaves, we just wanted first to thank everyone for being here with us today. I'm gonna share my screen just for a moment, because we would love to continue the conversation with you. We're gonna be with Tal again on May the 20th. So if you want more information on this, this will be more of a question and answer session. So you can tell him all your concerns, how things have changed during the month. And you can find more information either on Unicornio Pitch at any social network or with Tal, of course.
Okay. Can I ask everyone, the ones now with being able to open the camera, just so everyone to come closer to the screen, because we would like to have a nice picture of you. And those who we don't see, please go online for a minute just for us to see your face. And we would like to have a nice photo. And this photo is going to be all over the internet. So fix the hair a bit, smile a lot, see white teeth, okay? And we're going to do a nice photo now to everyone. 3, 2, anyone still wants to? Okay, everyone, please open your cameras. In 3, 2, 1, smile, say Kori. Amazing, super. So thank you again, everyone. Thank you for your time. Alexis Rubio, #1. Thank you for arranging this out of nowhere. Believe me, he found me on Instagram, went right ahead, arranged everything. So amazing, amazing job. We want to thank Kori Unicorn. Thank you so much. I think we should all have a round of applause to ourselves. I think we all did a great job just sticking here. Thank you, Pedro Trewas. Thank you, guys from Kori Unicorn. We hope to see you, as mentioned, within 2 weeks. Come on board. If you have questions, please share with us. Adios. Bye, everyone.
Adios.
Adios.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Gracias.